Howdy y'all, it's Aaron here, and today I want to share with you how to beat the Facebook algorithm. Alright, so as always, make sure that you grab something to take notes with and stick around until the end where I'm going to share with you the areas that you need to focus on and to understand if you're going to be on the good side of Facebook. Alright guys, so number one is understanding what is the algorithm. So I'm going to break this down in layman's terms here because there's no need to go into the nitty-gritty when it's a simple response will work. And hopefully it will be a little bit more effective. So Facebook to many is a social network, but what it really is a data mining machine. It collects data and learns by every action that you and I take. It's kind of scary, huh? Well, it can actually be a good thing. It knows when people watch a video, scroll away, click through, and even buy. And yes, even with the privacy updates, the algorithm is still learning what you interact with, consume, and even purchase. But the number one goal for Facebook is to get as much data as possible, and that can only happen if you're on the platform. Now, or in this case, any other of the many platforms they have. So whether that's Messenger, WhatsApp, Instagram, so any of the platforms that they have, the longer you're on there, the more data that it can gather. All right, so the too long didn't read version, right, of this is very simple. Facebook will reward you if you give other users a positive experience, keeping them on the platform longer. All right, guys, before we cover number two, I just wanted to say howdy. My name is Aaron. I'm one of the co-founders here at BitBranding, and we are an e-commerce growth agency that specializes in helping clothing boutiques and apparel brands grow consistently and profitably online. So excited that you're here. Make sure you hit that subscribe button because we create new content for you every single week. All right, so number two is to create content and measure success. Social media platforms thrive on content creation, and they are the lifeblood of long-term success on the platform. But most people want to sit back and complain about the algorithm and blame Facebook for not sending their content to more people. We all know that reach has gone down for organic, but it's not completely dead. The next part may ruffle a few feathers, but on this channel, we really want to promote the truth, and the truth is you aren't reaching as many people, likely because content is not good. All right, so I'm not calling your baby ugly, but I'm just saying your content doesn't resonate with your audience, and Facebook knows this. So, what do other gurus tell you to do? They tell you to spend more money on ads to reach those people, but that isn't the answer. Now, we'll get into more of that later. And no, I'm not saying you should not run ads, because you absolutely should. But Facebook is trying to give you feedback. They're saying, hey, no one likes these posts. Try again. You have to listen to what the platform is telling you and adjust accordingly, because I promise you that if you do so, you're going to begin to win. All right, so let's jump into a Facebook page with great engagement, and let me show you the type of reach they are getting along with the type of content they are creating for their audience. All right, guys, so now that we're in this page, what we can see here is that the posts really have nothing to do with what they're selling, right? And this is the 80-20 rule. So 80% of your content should be value-based, should be interest-based, to what your audience really wants, and then 20% of it could be sales. And that's also, again, what we'll talk about a little bit later in the video, how you do those 20% of sales. But look here, this is literally, so we're recording this video in November. This is about Thanksgiving, the side dish. Reaching 2,000 people, it's been about 3 hours, right? So just give you an idea of this page, it has about 10,000 followers. But 2,000 people, 36 comments, 1 share. Right here, it's a meme. This is 15 hours ago. 337 people reach. Not very many, right? It's a Sunday, and just depending on the timing, right? Probably people watching football. But we still have 54 engagements, 4 comments, 6 shares. The day before that, okay, we have an actual picture of the post of a product, 17 likes, engagements, not bad. Again, another product. Then we have here, like cardigans, sale, in store, low engagement. But then we go through here. Let's click that. All about Christmas live. Here we go. 3 times higher than normal, reaching 3,000 people. Okay engagement. But this, right back to where we were before, asking questions, trying to figure out more about your audience. Not only do you get engagement, but you find out more about your audience. What kind of products that they want, what kind of products can you sell them, how you can interact with them. And look what we have here. Reached only 2,600 people, right? So not too many people, but I would say it's much better than most people who have an audience size of 10,000 people. But what you have here, you have 35 comments, 11 engagements, great engagement here. And then let's do one more. I'll try to find something. All right. What do we have here? That's alive, so we won't worry about that. But again, another question. Who's the hardest person to buy for the Christmas list? Extremely high. They reached 5,000 people, almost half of their audience they reached here. 25 comments, 7 engagement. What this means is that you need to be creating content that's outside of just selling your products, right? You saw here that there was plenty of products that were sprinkled in here that were focused on selling, right? I'm not saying not to do them, but there's a certain way to do them. But how do you get more engagement to show people your product? You do things outside of just selling, right? Nobody likes to be sold to all the time. All right, so number 3 is to make your website desirable. Now you're probably thinking, what the heck does that have to do with Facebook? So hear me out here. Facebook is all about that user experience, and that even comes down to where you send people after they click on your content. So quick story, last week actually, we were running some ads for a client. I was like, sweet, this ad is amazing. Let's run it to just their homepage, right? Let's send it there. What happens, we got a low quality score. We had to go in and fix it real quickly. I was like, why is that? Facebook says your post-click experience was bad. And what happens at that point is Facebook's now deeming the ad as low quality, which we had to change very quickly because the home page took too long to load. So it does matter. So when you're setting up your store for success, you got to make sure that it's a win-win-win situation. You get happy customers who want to come back again and again. Facebook gets an impression for that customer, and you get in front of more people, which ultimately means more sales for you in the long term. So everyone can win, but you've got to focus on your website experience too. All right, guys, before we get into this next part where I'm going to break down what you should really be doing to beat the Facebook algorithm, I want to tell you about our free masterclass training that's for clothing boutiques and apparel brands that will walk you through the 5 pillars that you must have in place for your online store to scale consistently and profitably, no matter what is happening in the world. All right, so if you want that training, make sure that you check the description for the link to that training. All right, so number 4 is to focus on these areas. Facebook is constantly rating your ad account. The more positive experiences Facebook has with your account, the better it will do overall at bringing you predictable results. So there are a few key areas you really need to make sure that you pay attention to on Facebook so that you can stay on their good side. All right, so number 1 in this is disapproved ads. If they're disapproved and never get approved or fixed or solidified, this can hurt you, and it may take longer for your ads to get approved over time, right? So you may see that if you ran on several ad accounts that one ad gets turned on almost instantly, and then others it takes sometimes days before they turn on. So if you get enough of these, you can actually have your account disabled, which I do not want you to have. All right, so number 2 is Facebook really wants 50 conversions every 7 to 10 days. Now, this is changing constantly, especially with the privacy issues, right? But that used to be the case. The reason that is the case is because it needs that data. We talked about that earlier. Because of the new privacy updates, this is expanded a little bit, but the best thing you can do here is give Facebook the time to learn your ads. The more time you give it at a decent budget to get predictable and consistent results, it's gonna drop that cost for you. It's a machine, and it's going to get better and better. So let it do its job. So if your products stay in stock, right? So like if you're a clothing boutique and you buy deep, or if you're an apparel brand and you have 1 million of these shirts, and the ads are doing okay, let it run for 7 to 10 days before changing out products, right? So if you watch any of our other videos, you know about dynamic creative ads and changing up ads to make sure that it's constantly being in front of the right people. But if you can, let it run for 7 to 10 days before switching anything out, because it may get better. So anytime you make changes to an ad, it throws your ad back into learning, and you basically start from scratch with the learning phase. And the longer that it's in the learning phase, the longer it's gonna take to get out, and it's gonna cost you more money. All right, so the last one here is the quality score. And again, if you focus on creating high quality content, then this won't happen to you as much. But what you need to make sure is that you're updating your content and that quality is well received from your audience, right? Like I said, I know I just said let it run for 7 to 10 days, but some people let their ads run for like 2 days, switch it out. Some people let their ads run for 30, 40 days. There is a happy medium there, right? Keep creating good content for your audience and don't let them get the ad decay. All right, so let's jump into Facebook Ads Manager, and I'll show you where to navigate a few of these, as what I just mentioned, as well as the notification spot where Facebook will give you suggestions. So let's go into Ads Manager here. All right, so the first place is the Resource Center, right? So you go into Ads Manager, go to business.facebook.com, or go to Ads Manager. You want to click on this button here, click Ads Manager. But anyway, you get into your Ads Manager. And over here on the left-hand side, it's going to say a resource center. You've completed the 4 of the 5 steps. It's basically telling me what's happening with iOS. If you saw any errors here, this would be it. Okay, let me go to an account actually that may have a few errors or quality, right? So this one right here, account overview, going back, this is just a refund. Okay, let's see here, live selling conversions. It's still learning. That's good. You'd always want to see right here. It will tell you if there's an error right here on the learning phase in the delivery. You can also go to the ad level, right? So this one's telling me low quality, right? This is one of the ones that is actually being switched out. It's technically, it looks like it's still on right now, but it's being switched out to the one that's on top that is in learning. And it's telling you it's low quality. This ad was marked as low quality because it can be shown to fewer people, which you do not want. And then it tells you the reason why. So it's another good place for you to look for an error. One other good place is on the ad set level, like I said, right there. This one is one of the ones you want to avoid, right? It's learning limited. This is basically due to budget, but also due to the fact that the ad hasn't been running long enough, so it never made it out of the learning phase. So you can see right here, there's an error. What can you do to get this out of the learning phase? Well, if we click through this, we can set this one up as a dynamic creative. That would be great. Or we could set it up as a single post ad. But right now it's trying to split between 2 ads, which I don't recommend all of the time. Like I said, this has been a new ad and it previously had done well, so we decided to run with it. But if it's been sitting there for 7 days and it still doesn't go out of the learning phase, or 10 days and doesn't go out of the learning phase, I will probably make changes. So there's a couple other places to look for, right? And then if you have any questions or anything like that, you can always go down to the help section, and there should be, depending on your ad accounts or anything like that, there should be an option for you to chat or email with Facebook and say, how is my ad account doing, right? So that's another thing to be aware of as well, is how is my ad account doing? Now, if you're getting disapproved ads, probably stop, hold the boat, and don't go much further into your ads if you continuously get them disapproved, because you could get your account banned, and I don't want that to happen. All right, guys, so I know that what you're thinking. This seems way too easy to beat the algorithm, but it isn't. Think about your campaigns. How much budget have you put behind something? Now, how long did you let it run? Did you prioritize your creative? All right, so if you were hesitant with your confidence on any of these areas that I talked about in the video, you can improve them and take advantage of the power of Facebook. I promise you, it is data learning. It does not really care about you as an individual, right? It just needs the data. So if you can do that, you can begin to win. And honestly, you'll beat out 99% of everyone else because they're so focused on changing their ads so quickly, creating really bad ads, and then just getting a bunch of things disapproved because they don't pay attention to the privacy policies. So what I'm telling you is spend time on it, give Facebook the data it needs, and you will begin to win, and you can beat the Facebook algorithm. All right, guys, so if you like this video, you're going to love our other videos on Facebook ads for clothing brands, where I go into an ad account and show you what's working right now inside of Ads Manager. And if you want to watch that video, just click this button right over here. All right, so check that one out right there. That's going to walk you through it so you can begin to be successful with your campaigns online. All right, y'all, that's all we have for this video. We'll see you in the next one. Have a great day.